Okay, just to begin as a little overview, today I'm going to be talking about World War II, more specifically Nazi Germany, more specifically meth use in Nazi Germany, and how it affected both civilians, the military, and also how it was sort of like hypocritical due to how hardcore they were about other sort of stimulants and such. And so I'm going to begin with the actual beginning of pharmacology, which originated in Germany in the early 1700s. And so over the next 2.5 centuries leading up to World War II, there would be great advancements in this area. According to Jeffrey Winthrop Young, during World War II, there were great advancements as far as mass production of antibiotics, primarily due to soldiers contracting diseases in the battlefield. And oddly enough, the most contracted disease was syphilis. The decade just before, Pervitin, which is a stimulant that was created in Japan in the year 1919, would come to Germany. This is important because, according to Rachel Cook of The Guardian, research into stimulants began in Germany in 1937, shortly after the Berlin Olympics, and this was allegedly due to the U.S. Doping with benzodrine, and so Germany wanted to hop on this bandwagon to enhance the performance of their athletes. Okay, so you may be asking what Pervitin is, and I just mentioned that is a stimulant, but more specifically, Pervitin is a methamphetamine, and so I will discuss how this impacts your brain. This is an image of Pervitin and what it looks like, little capsules. So, Pervitin impacts your brain and increases things specifically like paranoia, aggression, and addictive behaviors, causing a lot of uncontrollable movements. And it also lowers judgment. Okay, so most stimulants have large impacts on the brain, and according to drugabuse.gov, meth increases amounts of dopamine in the brain, and dopamine is a hormone involved in body movement, motivation, and reinforcement of rewarding behaviors. Pervitin rapidly releases high levels of dopamine in the brain, reinforcing drug behavior, leading to a want to frequently repeat this experience. Pervitin also played a fairly large role in society under the Nazi rule, as it was frequently prescribed to employees, laborers, and also housewives. And this is due to it promoting both focus and energy levels. And it's also said to cure what's deemed as housewives' depression. And so here's an image of a chocolate bar that's laced with Pervitin, and it was used as sort of a little pick-me-up for housewives who were sad and lonely, so according to Stephen Snelders and Juan Peters of Oxford University, they said that Pervitin use was also very significant in the university setting, and I found this to be very interesting because I sort of related it to Ritalin abuse and Adderall abuse in university setting, as we see like a lot of articles being written about. As well as society, Pervitin abuse was very frequent in the German military, and according to Norman Ohler, author of Blitzed drug use in the Third Reich, Pervitin reduced fear and also the need for sleep, and so this allowed for more treacherous travels at a faster pace. According to Marvin Zanisser, Germany used 2 entry zones during their invasion of France, and this was key to their invasion, and it was fueled even more so by their use of meth. So here I have an image of both entry zones, and up here we have the expected one that the Allies anticipated Germany to invade through the north as they had during World War I. But like I said earlier, the Nazis took 2 entry zones, and so they sent a small bulk of their forces through the north, but they actually sent most of their forces through the Ardennes forest right here at the southern point between Belgium and France. And so this area was not expected whatsoever to be invaded by the Allied forces because of the dense forestry, and then also the Germans were using mechanized vehicles that were very bulky, and so they didn't think they would be able to weave through trees and whatnot. And so within 10 days or so, the Nazis were able to successfully get through the forest and cross this area of Sedan. There's a river there that they were able to get their tanks But so they were able to swiftly encircle France within 30 days or so and capture what was considered to be the best military at the time and take down this. And I used a double entendre to describe this. They were able to do this through speed. And so it was the quickness, they were able to circle France, but also speed as a synonym for meth. Meth use was also fairly hypocritical in Nazi Germany because they came down very hard on people for using stimulants such as alcohol, or not stimulants, but drugs, I suppose, alcohol and tobacco. And so they were very, what Hitler wanted to create an image of clean-cutness, and yeah. So the government correlated alcohol consumption to bad citizens. So I have an image here of propaganda that would be a good citizen, as this is a clean-cut man denying alcohol. Nazis tended to sterilize alcoholics, and according to Jonathan Levy, this was because, quote, whoever is not bodily and spiritually healthy and worthy shall not have right to pass on the suffering of the body of his children, end quote. Cigarette use increased leading up to Hitler's reign, and so he wanted, like I said, a clean-cut image, and thus more propaganda was produced, used to incite what Levy would call an image of aloofness, organization, and discipline. To tie all this together, the Nazis opposed consumption of alcohol and tobacco, yet they meanwhile distributed meth to their soldiers, but also pharmacists were handing it out left and right to like the people I had mentioned before, employees, civilians, everyone. Basically, everyone and their mom was hopped up on meth, and so it was very hypocritical planning through their campaign, and it would successfully lead to the collapse of France. However, it would also lead to what most likely would be their own demise and overextension due to like their overzealous effects thanks to meth, or their overzealous attacks thanks to meth, but also their racial motivations for hygiene. Thank you.